Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are happy that you are here. Today we are going to have a very important and a meaningful discussion. From this time up to the school application begins and all that, we are going to bring you practical experiences of people who have gone through the process and share with you what they've learned and other tips that they can give to you. And I believe this will help you in the school application process. It is always good to have diverse expectations or diverse views and diverse ideas from people who have actually succeeded, and when they share their stories can impact and it can help you in the way you approach your application. So today I have Daniel with me. Daniel is on his OPT in the US. He's done with his studies, so he's on his practical training, and I'm happy that Daniel has joined us. Daniel is from Ghana, and he's actually the guy who told me about the Kimber Health insurance. That's really changed my life and helped me get my amazing healthcare and all that. And I'm happy that Daniel is here today. Daniel is going to share with us his experiences. He is actually a Ghanaian student who went through China. He went to study in China, and from China he came to the US. So he has a lot of things to share in the application process, in the visa process, and all that. So I'm happy to have Daniel with me. Daniel, you are welcome to the channel. This is Baet Lamad.
Thank you very much, and I'm so excited to be here today, finally to be on this show. It is something that
Yeah,
I've always dreamt of, and I appreciate you for inviting me to this show.
yeah. I'm very happy, Daniel, because I remember the first time you reached out about coaching, and it's been over 2 years, and you see how
Yes.
time flies. And I'm glad that. And this is one of the things that we love about the coaching, when we practically get access to some of people like you become friends, and you share ideas. And as I said, through you, I got this amazing health insurance. I got to hear about it. I applied and I got it, and I'm very happy that I could save a lot of cost. And this was basically because we encountered you through our coaching program.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
first of all, before we move on, can you tell us a little bit about what you are studying or what you studied, your background academically?
Okay, so I have a very weird background, right? I did my first degree in Care University,
Mm-hmm.
and I did agricultural science.
Oh, good.
So, but it wasn't something that I actually wanted to do in the first place. But you know, the system in Ghana, sometimes things changes. So I decided to
Yeah.
just say, let me just go for it. So after my first degree, I had always wanted to travel outside Ghana for further studies. So there
Mm-hmm.
was an opportunity that came during my national service time, and it was for China education. Nobody wanted to go to China at that time. Most people did not want to go to China. We didn't regard China because we felt China was not a good country. So I just decided, let me just take my shot and go. And unfortunately, I didn't get any program in agriculture. The program that I got was in mechanical engineering.
Oh, that
So
was a big shit.
yes. So
I
from
see.
agricultural science to mechanical engineering, it was something way different. So and I
Yeah.
said, okay, well, I can still do it. Let me just go for it because uh, I realized that I could blend agriculture and engineering together. You know, we have agriculture mechanization. So okay, I thought this was a good opportunity. So I went
Yeah.
for it. So I studied in China for my master's degree for it was supposed to be 3 years, but you know things changed in China. I decided to extend my stay, so I studied it for 4 years instead of the three
You,
years
you
because
you began to love it in China. So tell
yes.
us, recently China have made a lot of investment in international education, especially when it comes to study abroad. I have a lot of colleagues who are doing amazingly well in China,
Mhm.
studying and doing their PhD and all that. So how was your experience in China academically? Did you like the environment? Did you like the academics and all that?
Oh, honestly, China was great. I always say that China is one of the great. If I had never been to China, I wouldn't have believed the things I saw in China, right? The
Yeah,
country is really going on very well. And in terms of the education, yes, they are really investing in international education. They want their education to be also recognized. And it's
yeah,
one thing that I would give credit to their government. Their government is doing so well in terms of education, higher education. they invest in it. Trust me, they do invest in it. So
Mm.
most people going to China even go with full funding.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a full funding, even then if you don't get funding, especially for the masters and PhD education, you get something that will cater for your tuition. So that means
Yeah.
you take care of your own accommodation
Living
and your
expenses.
and
Yeah.
living expenses. So technically they are doing very well, and I did enjoy my stay over there. Though there are times you have this on and off. It's
Yeah.
normal as a
Yeah.
human
There are
being.
cultural shocks everywhere.
Yes.
So can you tell us during your stay in China? I think a lot of people who also want to study in China, and I think many people can also go through the route that you went to. Sometimes applying to schools directly in Canada or US may not work. At this point, many people are going through visa rejections, and
Mhm.
I always advise people it is also good to do the Dany or the Padmon way. Padmon went to Ukraine for 2 years, and you also went to China for 3 or 4 years before you apply, because sometimes when you get a different country's academic qualification on your CV. For example, if you studied in China, it makes you very competitive. China have a
Mhm.
very rigorous academic environment, and if
Mhm.
you are coming from Ghana and also with China and you're applying to good schools in the US, it's very likely you are going to get accepted. So why did you want to study in the US? When you were in China, I remember you contacted us when you were in China and all that, and the process went through success. And now you are here. Can you tell us how your desire began and what you did during the application process and all that?
Okay, so with regards to why I wanted to move to the United States, it's all due to the fact that I had always wanted to move from Ghana. So someone say you moved from Ghana to the US, so why didn't you stay in China?
Yeah.
Um, yes, I had wanted to have a different environment. Yes, China is good and everything, but I wanted more. I had wanted something different, somewhere. Sometimes I'll feel more like myself, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I decided, okay, let me start trying. It wasn't only the US that I was trying. I did
Mhm.
try Australia, I did try Canada, but all of them did not succeed. It was
Mm.
only the US that did went through. So
So so did you apply for another master's in the US, or you came here for your PhD?
I did. That is a good question. I did apply for a second master's because I had done with my first master's in China, and I
Mhm.
had wanted to do a PhD, but I realized that PhD takes a lot of toll on me. Will take a
Yes,
lot of toll
yes,
on me.
it's very rigorous. Yeah.
So okay, let me just try a second master's in a different program that
Yeah.
I developed the love for and the passion when I was in China.
China.
Yes, because when I was in China, I was also doing this business, buying and selling,
Mhm.
buying goods from China and selling home, and also
Mhm.
helping people buy things. So I developed the interest of marketing and the interest of selling. So okay, then let me look for something that will help me and be able to combine everything. So I decided to look for marketing programs in the
Mhm.
US, in Canada, in Australia, but none were going through. And finally, I got one in the US, and I decided to take it a shot. So with regards to my visa process, honestly, I was scared. I was scared when it comes to. So I decided to reach out to you guys in the first place, and it wasn't easy getting you guys.
Oh, Danny, wait, we will come there. You will come to the coaching, and I think the time you were applying, it was immediately after the COVID, and so many things were happening,
Yes,
and I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
Yeah. But tell us, during your US application process, you said you
Mhm.
applied to a lot of countries, but what particularly did you learn in your application process, and what do you think you saw that made you successful that you can share with people?
Okay, so one thing I realized about the application process was mostly it's about the statement of purpose that you always submit.
Yeah.
If you are not able to submit a very good statement of purpose, it wouldn't help you. Like
Mm.
as I'm saying, I came from mechanical engineering background, right? With the
Yeah.
first, so when I was applying, I attached that to my application for the marketing program. But I
Mhm.
needed to convince the admission people
Yeah,
that
while you are changing field,
yes.
right?
So I had to take my time, come out with a very good statement of purpose to convince them, let them know that it is not just about the certificate. It was about something that I would love to. It is a passion, something that
Yeah.
I've come to develop for. So that
And you
was,
show evidence in your writing, right? With
yes,
your experience. Yeah.
yes, I had to use the things that I was even doing in China to buying and selling. There was, I remember I even said in my statement of purpose that even if they need evidence, I'll be able to provide evidence for them. So I was just ready to do it, and that is what made it for me. Because if you don't have the zeal, what I realize these days is most people want to do it, but they feel lazy to do it. They
Hmm.
want to go, but they don't want to take their time to write what will get them the results. So that wasn't what I needed. I knew that I needed to go for this, and I took my time, wrote it with passion, and it worked for me.
And I like it that you stress so much on the statement of purpose, because after interacting with so many students over the time these days, I think, as you said, most people have the desire to study abroad, but they don't have the commitment. And you see, the
Yes,
statement of purpose in most cases, school will say write 500 to 700 words or
yes,
750 words.
yeah,
That is basically looking at 2 pages. In
yes.
principle, it is nothing, but
Mm-hmm.
in practice, it is a lot. You, it's sometimes it will take over 3 4 months to get that 2 pages, because
Yeah,
you have to be intentional. You
yes,
have to be persuasive, and you
yeah,
have to be descriptive
yeah,
in the statement of purpose that you bring. And these days, many people are getting a lot of admissions, but they are not getting the visas. We'll come there, and it's because now, when you start the school application process, you must
mm-hmm.
consider that everything is holistic.
Yeah,
So the kind of school you are applying to will determine whether you get a visa or not,
uh-huh.
and the kind of opportunities or options and advantages the school have. So in your case, if you submit a good statement of purpose, it means that you are likely going to get admitted and going to get funded,
Yeah,
right? And
mm-hmm.
now the school application process is huge, because everybody wants to travel, everybody wants to study abroad. So it's
Mm-hmm.
competitive, uh, much more than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, in your estimation, how long did you spend on your statement of purpose, and what are specific things you did to ensure that you put your statement of purpose into good shape that people can learn from?
Okay. Um, I started my process before COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
So COVID came, let's say, effective of 2020, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
2019 getting to 2020. Yeah,
yes, in China we started experiencing it earlier. So
yeah.
before, let's say, September 2019, I started
Mm-hmm.
my process.
Yeah,
I started the process. So just in my 2019, and I was able to come to the US in 2022. So
yeah. So
just
you used 2 years to prepare
I
for this.
I use all those time period
Yeah.
to prepare myself that I want to come. So finally, I got admission in 2021. So
Mm-hmm.
from 2019 to 2021 was the time I used for my preparation, because, well, I felt like this is the time for me to move. So anything else I was doing wasn't just doing anything. I needed to focus and get my results.
Yeah,
There are
yeah,
times I wrote something. There was a friend that I even sent to, and I said, "Can you read through for me and see?" He comes back with feedbacks, and I have to edit. So it took me a longer time. The preparation wasn't easy.
yeah,
I even had an admission in Netherlands with a statement of purpose, thinking I would be able to go, but I couldn't go. So I decided to just let it go, like just forget about that,
yeah,
and yeah. So
yeah.
it wasn't an easy journey, but it was worth it.
Worth it. Yeah, yes, it's absolutely. It is worth it when you put in the effort. Now let's come to the visa application process quickly, right? I think that's really huge, and I've
Yeah.
had a lot of people who are currently in China. I've
Mm,
coached so many people who are in China, who came through China to the US, and
mm,
especially the US to study. Most Ghanaians and Nigerians, I remember, and I think through that, you we got in touch, and we also prepared you as well. So tell us, uh, how was it? Because China is a different country. You are in a different country as a Ghanaian. You are
mhm.
not going for your interview in Ghana. You are going for the interview in China. possibly all the participants or applicants that day were Chinese, and you were new to the contest. So how did you prepare? What are some of the things that you remember? Some of the things you could share.
Oh, okay. So my visa application was it was very scary. It was
Mhm.
very scary. So after I got admission, before they did the visa process, I had about 4 schools
Yeah,
admission in the US, but I needed to decide which one I'll be using. So when I
yeah,
decided to finally use my school, right, I had to I had to start preparing for my visa process. So I started on YouTube watching videos about,
mhm,
and I chanced upon one of your videos. So I took my time to to go through the video, watch the video, and I realized I needed your help. So I decided to start contacting you and see how
yeah,
you can help me. So
yeah,
finally, the day that I received the message that we can start the coaching, I was like, wow, finally. It
yeah,
has been a long time contacting you guys because you're
yeah,
always busy coaching different people.
yeah.
And really, I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort a lot. And
Thank you.
I met with Paul first, and you came along to also give me some insights. And finally, I went for the visa interview. My first question they asked me, as you said, I'm a foreigner in China. So they asked me, what am I doing in China?
Yeah,
And it's a question that I was like, why would you ask me that? What am I doing in China? Is that your
yeah,
concern?
yeah. But they have to know if
Yes,
you have legal status in China.
yes. So I just told them, well, I came as a student and I'm done with my studies, and currently I'm having a Chinese language to help my supervisor with some research and other stuff. They said, okay, wow. So you also asked me if I have research experience. I said, yes, I even have some publications. At that time, I had 3 publications. So
Hmm.
I told them, yes, I had some 3 publications. She was excited and went on to ask me why am I changing? Because she saw that I did mechanical engineering in China.
Yeah.
So why the switch?
Hmm.
And that prompted me about my statement of purpose I wrote. So
Yes.
at that time, I had to let them know my passion, right? I have to let them know why the change. So I
Yeah.
spoke with her, and she was just nodding her head, and
Hmm.
so okay. So I think those were my only 3 questions they asked. So after that, she said, "Okay, we've heard you, but we cannot approve your visa for now. We are going
Oh,
to do some investigations about you." When she said that, my heart jumped like something.
yeah. You're like, why? Why give me the visa? Let me go. Investigations.
Why? What investigation? She said, "No,
Yeah.
not investigation. We are going to put you on, um,
Administrative
uh,
processing.
yes, administrative processing." And I
Yeah.
said, "Okay, fine." So before I was leaving, she asked me again, "Who is going to
Hmm.
sponsor you?"
Yeah.
And I told her that my mom, because I
Hmm.
used my mom's bank statement. She said,
Yeah.
"Okay, fine." So I left the place thinking maybe it's going to take a week. Immediately
Yeah.
I got inside my room, I went back to my city because I moved from a different city to where I went. China
Yeah.
has about 5 US embassies and consulates, so I
Yes.
went to one of them. So when I got inside my room, I did a research about how long administrative process
Can
takes.
take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I even contacted Paul about this. That they said I'm on administrative, and Paul was like, "Yeah, it's normal." Paul talked to me about that. I shouldn't go
Yeah.
worry. It's normal and everything. Okay, so I waited for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 good weeks. There was nothing. I was getting scared. So I had to wait again for extra 4 weeks. So in total, I had to wait for 2 good months, 2 months before I finally
Wow.
finally received my
Your
visa.
your visa.
Oh,
Oh, that was a tough time to wait. I know there was one guy I coached. I think he was from the Philippines, and he was also put on administrative process. For him, his administrative process took about 11 months.
oh,
Can
wow.
you imagine? He was always sending emails. Hello, Alfred, I've not heard back. Is there anything? Then I'm like, okay. there's nothing you can do. Email the embassy, and when you email the embassy, they tell the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
We have not made decision and all that. Okay, so that is big thing. So you went through administrative process, and I remember that time because we used to talk and we used to send you messages about
Yeah.
how the process is, and don't panic and don't
Yeah.
worry. And usually for me, unless there's something significant in
Mm.
your application, a lie or a misrepresentation,
Yeah.
most administrative process in our cases have always resulted in approval, because
Yeah.
when you come for coaching, you make sure that you get the right information, you get the right
Yes.
document, you get
Yes.
everything that you need. Because
Exactly.
when they put you on administrative process and they check and they see that you have misrepresented something, it also comes with punishment. It comes with
Yeah.
some possible penalties and bans. So
Mm.
we always try to ensure that applicants that we could are aware, and we prepare them in a way that even if they put them on administrative process, they wouldn't struggle. So we were very confident that you would get the visa. So now when you came to the US, fast forward, when you came to the US, tell us what happened.
My God.
How was your US experience? Did you like it? What are the things that you remember that has been enjoyable? Things that have been that has not been have not been enjoyable. If you compare US to China, Ghana, and tell us how is your US experience?
I sometimes try my best not to remember my first experience in the US. It was a total disaster.
Yeah.
Before even coming, my school, mostly I know most schools do not give accommodations to graduate students.
Yeah.
So when I was coming, I needed a place that I could stay before coming, and I tried the best that I can to reach out to anybody or that could help me. I remember even going to LinkedIn to search for Ghanaians in New York to see if I could get someone to accommodate me for even just 2 days. But unfortunately, I do understand because we have a lot of bad people. But due to the bad people, if because of bad people, people also decide not to help others, it is also wrong. Well, that is me. It might be different in somebody's ears or somebody. Yeah. I remember reaching out to one person, one lady on LinkedIn. I spoke to her that I realized she even went to the same school that I'm coming to, Yeshiva University. So I reached out to her and I made her understand I'm coming to the school and I really need a place for just 2 days. If she wants any information about me, I could just send all the documents. She could even do her own background checks with the school because I had even started classes. Because my visa delayed, I started the classes online. So the school knew about me that I'm coming and stuff. So if she could do any background check, she only said I could use Airbnb, I could use other
hotels
online.
and others.
Yes. But when I checked the prices of the hotels, and because it was a short period, they were too high.
Yeah.
I
in
couldn't.
New York, that would be huge.
Yes, New York is so expensive, so I couldn't afford that, and I made her understand I can't afford those kind of expenses. Just even 2 days, I'll be grateful for that. She even stopped replying my messages, and I just let me tell. So finally, I got someone who agreed to pick me up from the airport because my school does not do airport pickups. But unfortunately, he was also married with kids, so he cannot accommodate me in his house. And there's one man of God here that is in Virginia. I knew him before coming, so he also didn't know anybody who could help me in New York. So the only thing he could do was when I arrived, he helped me book an Airbnb, and he made a payment for me. So I went to that Airbnb, stayed there for 10 good days. So just imagine being an Airbnb for 10 days. It was expensive.
Yeah.
And another sad story was when I came to the US, the phone I brought to the US did not accept the US SIM card.
You brought the SIM card, like those phones with the SIM card.
So I didn't know what to do. I didn't have enough money on me. So how am I going to survive here? Lucky for me, New York always has buses, right? At that time, the
Yes.
buses had Wi-Fi. So
Mm-hmm.
when I want to move, I use the Wi-Fi at home to check my location.
Yeah.
Then
Wow.
I screenshot it to make sure that I know where I'm going. So when I get into the bus, I re-put it in the bus,
Yeah.
and know because the bus has Wi-Fi,
Right. Yeah.
and I use that one to be going around for, let's say, 1 week before I was able to finally get a phone from T-Mobile. At that
Yeah.
time, T-Mobile was having a promotion where you pay $50 for 3 months and the phone become yours.
Yours. Yeah.
So I decided to let me just go for it. At least it's fine. $150 for 3 months for a phone and a SIM card. Oh, that is fine. So I went for that option. That was where I was able to get access to our SIM card. And another thing that was much of an issue for me was savings. Savings.
Mm.
I realized New York was expensive.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be able to make it in New York
Yeah.
because my school didn't give me good funding. It wasn't that much of good funding, so I had to pay my fees myself and other things. But I came with a student loan from
Mm-hmm.
Empower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I needed to still find a way of getting money saved, and that was
Yeah.
when a friend of mine who had graduated. She was from Senegal.
Mm-hmm.
She graduated from the same school, but she graduated in June, and I came in September. So
Yeah.
she told me about the insurance she was using that helped
Mm-hmm.
her save because at
Yeah.
that
Because
time
insurance is expensive here,
it's
especially.
expensive.
Yeah.
My school was within a year was more than $5,000.
Yeah. Some schools. I know a school that you pay about
Yes.
6,000. Yeah.
It was. I was like $5,000 could pay for my rent for almost 6 to 7 months.
Yeah.
So no, I cannot do that. So okay, what I would need to do, find a means to save money on the insurance. So she told me that was what she used when she came here, and she was okay. And I said okay, let me try, and that was when I got to know of Kimber Health, and she told,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now that you brought us, can you tell us your experience with Kimber Health? Like, I've done a video about it and sharing my own experience about I was paying huge insurance. Even the kind of insurance I was paying was a lot subsidized. It was the cheapest one to me then when I was at Yale because if I compare it to the Yale insurance I waived, I think that was a little bit cost effective, but when I found out about Kimber Health, I realized that the offers that Kimber Health offers for in-state and both out of state was really, really good. So
Honestly.
I quickly signed up. You remember I talked to you and I quickly signed up, and within 3 business days I was approved. So
Yeah.
tell us personally, I have used it for my eye check and other medical examinations and,
Oh,
and prescriptions, but I don't know about you. I know you introduced me, you told me about it, and just like somebody told me.
yeah.
Can you
Uh,
give us specific instances where you think this insurance is good, especially for students in New York and those out of New York? And
oh,
also, you tell us about because basically, if you are in New York, the insurance is free.
yeah.
And from our part of the world, and also knowing what is in the US, initially I was skeptical. How is this free? Is it going to affect my immigration status? And I
Mhm,
talked to some of the workers in Kimber Health, and I also did my own finding, and I realized that no, this is not
mm,
going to affect my
mm,
immigration or whatever. So
yeah.
tell us quickly, how has been your experience with this insurance?
Okay. This is something I always love to share about my
Yeah,
experience with Kimber Health. So
yeah.
when the lady told me about it, I
Mm-hmm.
went to also, she sent me the link, but I went to the Google to also search myself. So I
Yeah.
decided to read
You
more
wanted to be
about it.
sure.
Yes, I needed to be sure
Yeah,
because I knew that most time free things comes with a lot of
yeah.
issues. So I just,
Hidden
yes,
attachment. Hidden.
yes.
Yeah.
They say no free meals anywhere, no free lunch. Yes. So I went to Google, did a little research, and first thing I saw was they even had a 5-star review. So
Mm.
I said, oh, then that is a first good step. So I did more research and I got to know it's something that I could trust. Let me just use. At least my fellow African person told me she used it and she was okay.
Yeah.
So if she has testified, then they also try. So I did apply first, and they started chatting with me on WhatsApp that my application has been submitted. Um, we used to chat a lot. So when I got approved, I wait from the school. Within 3 days, I received an email from my school that they have refunded my money. You
Yeah.
know, it was 2,400 and something. I said,
Wow, that was.
wow. I did a sign of the cross at that
Yeah.
moment because it was money I needed at that time. 2,000 for at that time. Wow. So
Yeah.
in my experience with Kimber Health, I was there one day when I received a call from the insurance company. They were like, "We want you to go for a medical checkup." Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yes, I yes, that was well, after I received the insurance, although I plan to use it.
Uh
But
huh.
sometimes we are not conscious because of
Yeah.
people from Africa. We are not conscious
Yes.
about visiting the hospital. So I also
Yes.
received a call, and there's this lady who was asking me about my details to confirm whether I am really Alfred
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
my name, date of birth, and after everything, he said, okay, so he want to. She has been assigned to me to
Uh-huh.
explain my case to me and all that. So
Uh-huh.
for me, she explained everything to me, and she helped me book my first appointment with the
Approximate.
doctor. She helped me search other. I think we searched about 4 or 5
Uh-huh.
medical personnel nearby
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
facilities nearby, and I got the most closest one,
Well,
and so
yeah.
I remember that. Go ahead.
So I received the calls like, what? You guys, why? I applied for something free and you are
Yeah.
forcing me to come to the hospital. As you said,
Yes.
in our country, we don't care about going to the medical checkups frequently. We only
Mm.
go there when we know we are sick.
Yeah.
If I'm not sick, why would I have to go to the hospital? She was like, yeah, you need to go and do a checkup to know that everything's okay. I said, okay, fine. Let's look for a place. So as you said, we started looking for places that are closer to me. She gave me a list of about 10 places. And I realized one was so close to me, I could walk like 15 to 20 minutes over there.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, let me use that one. So she booked an appointment and I went to see my personal provider, my PCP or my doctor. So I went to the clinic and she saw me. She was so happy. She was like, "You guys, are you serious? You are giving me something for free, and you are still well." So
At the hospital, it's not for free because the insurance company will pay them, right?
yes, yes,
And
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
and
So
obviously the state too also pay the insurance company. So I think, yeah.
yeah, so she did a check on me. She said, "Okay, I'm going to book you for another appointment to go and see um people that takes care of your whole system. You go and do a
Yeah.
scanning and everything." I don't have the time for all these things, man. Don't
Yeah.
disturb me. But well, I didn't have any option. So one day I went for one of my specialist scanning, and
Mm-hmm.
I was even told I have a problem with my knee.
Mm.
I have been walking around all this, so I never knew about
Yeah.
this. So you see, if I had not gone, I didn't even
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So from there, they gave me advice on what to be doing, and so that at least it's going to help me. And I also didn't even know my sugar level was even going high because we don't care about these things in Ghana. Before we
Yeah.
realize you are there and you
You
are
are
good.
there. Yeah. You are the at the prayer center.
Exactly.
We are delivering you and fasting with you.
Yes. Where do you
Yeah.
need to go to? So, um, all these things was a good experience. And my next experience was I needed to just go and do a dental checkup. So
Mm-hmm.
because the insurance covers everything, including the
Yeah.
dental and vision. So I
Yeah.
went to the dentist, and um, the dentist was like, "Are you just come to do just cleaning or filling or anything?" I said, "I'm just coming for a normal checkup." She said, "Okay, okay, we're going to do cleaning for you." So doing before the cleaning, they have to check everything if everything is
Yeah.
okay. He said, "I see that there's parts that you took out your teeth, one of your teeth, so you want to fill it out." I said, "I don't need to fill. I don't need that." She
Yeah.
said, "Oh."
Miss Amede Bobo Obiumi na Oshe. In Madame Medemia.
I said, "I don't need that." He said, "No, you need to come for it." One thing here is when it comes to healthcare, they really take good care of you.
Yeah, they pay
They,
attention.
yes,
Yes.
they pay attention to it. So
Yeah.
if they see any small thing, they wouldn't want you to go
Yeah.
and let it escalate.
Yeah.
So the dentist talked me through, and I said, "Okay, I'll come for you to do." So he booked me again for the next one. I didn't even go. Yesterday, never gave up. Just called me again, and I went to do it finally.
You're
So,
being
but
difficult on your own health. I mind that we see one for cement and fail as in
it's not my fault. Where I'm come from, it is normal, right? I remember in
You know,
Ghana.
in Ghana, in most places, traditionally, not visiting the hospital is a blessing. We
Yes.
sit in church and bless
And,
God for not visiting the
so,
hospital. So if you
so
visit the hospital, it's like God has not blessed you. You are sick. You were sick. You didn't pray. You didn't pray and you became sick. Hey,
exactly,
your faith is low. Don't allow
exactly,
sickness to overtake you. No.
exactly.
Yeah.
People
So
will
I
come to
get
the
you.
church and just be like, around them and
Yeah.
that. So, say, I feel me, I'm a man called
The
hospital.
whole year I didn't go to hospital. Thank you,
Eh,
Jesus.
oh,
Can you
but
imagine?
sometimes you go there not because you are sick, but at least
Yes.
to know states in your health and other stuff. Because as I said, I didn't even know I had problem with my knee. I've been going along with my duties all these years, over 30 years. I didn't know. So doesn't mean God does not love me. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
God wants me to also be healthy, and that is why He
Yeah.
gave the doctors, or He made doctors available to take care of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so my experience with Kimber Health has been so exciting. And one thing I love so far recently was the $75 dollar card, the OTC
Okay.
and grocery card. I didn't take my card with me today. I love that. Every quarter or every 3 months, I get $75 on my card, and that card I use for groceries, and also
Mm.
it can also be used for buying medicines. But I always tell myself, why would I want to buy medicine when I can go to the doctor and tell the doctor I have a headache, and the doctor will
Yeah.
recommend the medicine for me, and I'll get it for free. So why do I
Yeah.
have to use my 75 again to go and buy another?
Another yeah. Yeah. I'd rather
No,
use it to buy the
groceries.
egg in a chewable.
Yes, I buy my egg, I buy my bread, I buy
Yeah.
my ketchup, I buy my sausage, and come on,
Okay,
and I
you
don't get
enjoy
it.
your okay. So Danny, let's get quickly. One thing I'm trying to do is to try to get hold of one of the directors at Kimber Health so that she can come and take us through specific plans they have and all that, so that people can benefit. But tell us, if somebody want to sign up,
Mhm.
what do you think the person should do? How should the person go about it? Yeah.
Okay, so with a sign up, if anybody is interested in this policy, especially those who are in New York State,
Mm-hmm.
as we said earlier, if you're in New York State, it's free. It is 100% free. It's $0. You don't pay anything for it.
It's free for which people? Student alone?
Now, it's free for students, it's free for green card holders, it's free for OPT, F2 students, B1, B2 holders, like
So if I'm a
almost.
visitor, for example, my mother is visiting me
Uh-huh,
and she need medical attention and I'm in New
uh-huh.
York, I get it for free.
Yeah, you can
If
do it for free.
if I'm a visitor and I'm passing through New York and I have to give birth,
Uh-huh.
I qualify for that also.
Yes, even
Oh,
if
okay.
recently one thing that has even come up is those seeking asylum even qualify for it.
Oh, okay. That's huge.
Yes, yes. So those who are seeking for asylum can even now apply. But as long as you pass through the border and you went through immigration, you have your I-94. Because
Yeah.
as a visitor, as F1 students, as F2 students, um, J1, J2, you
Yeah.
all pass through and you have
I-9.
I-94.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you qualify for it as long as you are in New York State. One thing
Okay.
I always try to let people understand, it's not just New York City, it's the state.
Yes, it's the state. Yeah. So it
Yes.
can be Albany,
Mm-hmm.
Rochester,
Yes.
Syracuse,
Yes.
uh,
Utica.
Netherlands, whatever. Yes.
As long as it's in your state, you qualify for it.
Okay.
So there's no and those who are not in New York State. I have a friend who stays in New Jersey, right? And this friend, because in New Jersey he doesn't qualify, he decided to come to New
Move
York,
to.
get apply for this so that he can be enjoying the benefit, especially with the dental, because he said he wants to go to dentist and it's expensive if you don't have
Yeah.
insurance. So
Yeah.
he came purposely for
To
get
move
it.
to the. Yeah. New
And
York.
I told this guy, you are not serious, you are crazy,
Yeah.
but for the benefits of everything. Yeah, he came and
Yeah.
he got it. So if you are not in your state, there's also an option to get affordable ones. right?
Yeah.
Especially for the students. Yes, there's an option to available for that. Yeah.
No, okay. I think, Dany, this has been a very amazing conversation. And before I will let you go, I have two questions. First of all, what was your experience with Baet Lamad when you reached out? I know your wife too reached out. After you came, you brought your wife too, so we coached your wife. And your wife too had a very different and very complex situation, but
Mm.
thankfully we were able to work things around for her to. What what can you say about your interactions with us? I'm sorry, at the time I think I think I was writing my final exams. Paul was starting his PhD at Yale, so we were all busy and still doing the coaching and school applications with people, so we couldn't reach out or interact with you earlier, but thankfully we got you at a time that was helpful for you to go through. So what are your final words for some of the things that we do, and what will you tell our viewers also about some of the things we do?
Honestly, my experience with Baet Lamad was awesome. I have to be honest. As you said, at that time I reached out. I nearly gave up. Because I sent emails. There were no responses. So the day I received a response and I got the link to apply or shoot one on
Yeah,
one with you, I was
yeah,
so excited, right? And the experience so far, the advice and everything that was given to me was really good. It
yeah,
did help me in my process. I remember when both of you were together and you were speaking, you tried to calm me down, made me understand that I just need not to panic. Everything's going to be okay. And one thing I also love about you guys is you care about your people, you care about your clients. You don't just coach them and leave them. You coach them and still continue
yeah,
building a connection with. And
yeah.
that is one thing I always give the salute to you guys. I'll
Thank
say
you, thank you. I
thank you
think
so
the
much.
connection for us is very important because
Yeah.
we are interacting with brilliant and amazing students all the time, and it's just an opportunity that we have been here before
Mm-hmm.
some of them are coming, but
Mm-hmm.
most of these people we interact are way better than us in intelligence, in age,
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
knowledge. So we really respect the interactions and the
Mm-hmm.
friendship that this process brings. It's an opportunity. It's just an opportunity to share this and to have people even watching your videos and appreciating what you are doing. And through that, you remember I met you, and I got Kimber Health, know about
Yes.
it, and I've benefited hugely from it. And also, I have a lot of friends. I have made friends through this. Like
Mm.
I have another friend also called Daniel. He's also doing his PhD, and he has been an amazing friend. He and his wife and all that. So for us, we see this as a ministry,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
We are ministers in quotes. Ministers,
Yeah.
not just in the pulpit or
Uh-huh.
speaking the word of God, but we
Mm-hmm.
are trying to see how we can reconnect
Mm.
and help people pursue their passion, and right, people pursue their dream. And study abroad is one of the genuine way you can
Mm.
also help people who want to advance in knowledge, advance in skill, advance in career, to go through the process. And we are blessed that we can give this opportunity. Finally, Dany, what are your final words to applicants, people who are now applying to school, people who are now thinking about visa application, and there are some people who are going through disappointment because
Mm.
they didn't get their visas or they cannot get date and
Mm.
all that. What are your words for these people? What will you tell them?
Okay. So first about those who are applying for schools. As I said earlier, most people wants to apply for school, but they do not want to put in the effort and the time. You need to have the time and the effort in this process. If you don't put in that, you will never get there.
Yeah,
Because I know people will always want agents to be helping them apply and stuff. Yes, but even with that, you still need to put in the effort.
you
You
must be
don't just,
involved.
yes, you must be involved. You can't just give your document to an agency and relax. No, you need to be involved to get your process done. And with
Yeah.
the visa process too, I have a friend. He's coming in to the US very soon.
Mm-hmm.
He applied and he got rejected twice. He got rejected twice. And still he did not give up. He
Yeah.
always spoke with me and I tried to talk to him that it's not over. He can still
Yeah.
try. He tried for the third time and he was given the
The
visa.
visa.
Yeah, so those who are getting the rejections, no, it's not your fault for you to get rejected. It's not anybody's fault. It's just the circumstance and the situation at that time, and definitely your time will come. As I always tell people, don't give up. Just keep pushing. If you give up, you don't know what is coming ahead of you. Yeah.
If you give up, you don't know what is coming ahead of you. Thanks for sticking together with us, Dany, and to our viewers, we are happy you are here. Please check the video description section for all the information about links to the Kimber Health Insurance, for our website. You can see our website or under my name, www.baetlamadedu.com. And if you have any question, any concern, please, you can let us know, and we'll be happy to assist you. Always remember that theology is fine.
So it's fine. Thank you.